Welcome to the Metals Investment Forum. It's my great pleasure to have Avino Silver and Gold, David Wolfin. David, welcome.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Well, Avino just came out with a fantastic quarter. I was watching on that day, silver was down, Avino was up. So you must do something right. Can you tell us how do you do?
Yeah, we've been ramping up at the mine. We're running around 2,200 tons per day. We still have more capacity in our mill.
Oh, good. So can you tell us how did you do in general? What you did last year? What's your plan for this year? And then what's your plan for 1 billion in the next 5 years?
So we beat our internal guidance last year. We were projecting to produce 2.4 million ounces of silver equivalent. We produced 2.6. This year we're expecting to produce between 3 and 3.2. But we have a 5-year plan to get between 8 and 10 million. And that's through the Avino property and the 3 assets that sit there. One is the producing Avino Mine. The second is the recently acquired La Preciosa project, which is right beside it, and the Oxide Tailings project. So those are the 3 drivers for our growth in the next 5 years.
Excellent. So you're going through organic growth from the existing project. You're looking to 8 to 10 million ounces in the next 5 years.
Yeah, we spun out non-core properties. Juniors tend to overextend themselves. And so we got rid of non-core projects and we're just focused on expanding Avino and growing that out. Right now, our all-in sustaining costs are below 18. And when these expansions happen, we're going to be producing more materials, so economies of scale, but higher grade. So we're expecting our all-in sustaining to drop between 10 and 12. Which will then project into the EBITDA story. So there's on our slides, it's $20, $25, and $30. 5-year plan is to generate between 60, 80, or 100 million in EBITDA, depending on what metal prices are. And so best case at $30, 100 million times 10 is what the market gives on 10 times EBITDA. So that's $1 billion market cap.
Well, I think your projection was too conservative. Only $30.
I hope so.
So basically the bottom line is you're making money at current silver price, which is $20. Very, very low.
Yes.
And then you're generating free cash flow. You're expanding.
Yes.
And you're growing organically.
Correct. And we came up with a new resource estimate about a month ago. So 368 million ounces of silver equivalent from 75 million tons. It's like 70 years of mine life.
Wow, excellent. So can you tell us your recent deal to get the La Preciosa? Right?
Yeah, from Core Mining last year. So we acquired it in March. It was a year-long process. We did a brand new resource estimate. We did metallurgical test work. So that closed in March. Silver was at $26, then it dropped down. So we haven't re-rated yet, but we've tripled the amount of ounces we have. And it's de-risked. They've spent $50 million, Coeur, Pan American Silver, Orco, drilling 1,500 drill holes. We're going to high grade it. We're not looking to open pit mine it. We're going to high grade it. So it'll be a small footprint.
Wow. Well, remind me, how much did Coeur pay for that project?
$350 million in 2013 when they bought Orco.
350 million. How much did you pay?
30 million in upfront consideration. Then there's a contingency payment of 8 million after 12 months after we go into production, and there's a couple of royalties.
All right, excellent. So basically you pay about maybe a little over 10%?
Yeah, and it was de-risked by them.
Wow, what a great deal. So that's great. So those 3 seems to be this, and the plastic oxide will be the cornerstone of your future
Definitely.
growth.
Definitely. It's going to drive us to 8 to 10 million ounces a year.
Okay. So, and then you have your projection as $30 silver, you will have a 100 million
in EBITDA.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
That's not going to be a cash cow.
Yeah. Well, I tell everyone, every portfolio should have a silver lining. Let Avino be that silver lining. Shameless plug.
Okay, great. Well, maybe you can tell us what's your vision. You have all the free cash flow coming in. You eventually will start paying dividend, I assume.
Well, we'll see in 5 years. If we're loaded with cash, then absolutely want to pay dividends. Being the second largest shareholder. I'd love to get some money back because all I've been doing is acquiring shares since I became president.
Oh.
You know, my father founded the company in 1968. And so if you've ever worked for your father, you know they don't like to pay their sons much money. So I didn't get free shares. I had to buy them all in the market.
Oh, wow. So you bought all.
And people say, how much skin do you have in the game? I said, skin, I have blood, sweat, and tears. I worked in the mine in the 80s. He sent me there. I lived in the infirmary and worked in the mill.
Yeah, I remember I was in the mine. It was so hot. It's like it's hotter than my sauna.
Yep, and I recently sent my son there last summer. He worked in the mine.
He worked in the mine. Wow, to go for the family tree.
Yeah, he's in his third year at business school at UBC.
Oh, excellent. That must be an eye-opening experience.
Definitely, definitely.
So you envision this will be your cornerstone project, and do you plan to expand in the future, or maybe?
Certainly, but I just thought, why not deliver a 5-year plan? I mean, if I was to deliver something bigger, people might question if it's even feasible. This is feasible. We've got the right technical expertise there. Our chief operating officer is a graduate of Colorado School of Mines, so we've got excellent people down there. We've got a giant resource. At some point, we may do an optimization study to go even larger. And then we could do custom milling because there are other deposits within a 100-kilometer radius with no infrastructure. Right. And we've got a 20-kilometer dedicated power line capable of 5 megawatts, and we're only utilizing 3.
Okay.
And the new dry stack tailings is recycling water, so we got plenty of water.
Excellent. That's recycled water. So basically, you have a 250,000 ton per day mill right now, right?
2,500 ton per day. Yep.
2,500. I just make sure the number, and then it's not fully utilized. So
we've got another circuit. We're waiting that it's been rehabbed, ready to go to receive ore from La Preciosa, which will be later in the year.
Okay. So then you can expand the mill, you said?
We can expand it, but also we're looking at the new dynamic leaching for the old oxides. So that will be a 2,500 ton per day brand new operation on the property. So it will be around 5,000 tons per day at some point in the next 5 years.
Okay. Can explain to me dynamic leaching?
So it's in tanks. Instead of using heap leaching, which is a big eyesore out in the middle of the fields, this is going to be in tanks. And so the leaching occurs within hours, not months. So you higher recovery rates, you expect payback quicker. It's a higher capex, but it's a smaller footprint. So we're in a heavily populated area because the mine's been there for hundreds of years. So it wouldn't go over well if we tried to build a heap leach in the middle of the cornfield. So we're thinking dynamic leaching to improve recovery rates and the IRR.
Excellent. Have you done any PEA?
Yes, we did in 2016. 48.8% pre-tax IRR. That was at $12.50 gold and 17 silver. And it recommended that we drilled the rest of it off to increase the certainty. We couldn't when it was active. So we shut down the mine, let it dry out, put the drill rig on, did 150 holes. That's been completed. The metallurgical test work's completed, and we're just out for tender for the PFS, which will get done this year. So by the end of this year, we'll have reserves.
Well, excellent. Okay, finally, just tell the investor what are the key catalysts coming for this year?
Key catalysts, more drilling. So we're drilling right now. We own our own drill rigs. Full commissioning of the dry stack tailing storage facility. Starting surface works at La Preciosa, trying to get more ore into the mill. So yeah, boosting production to 3 million ounces this year.
Oh, excellent. Well, thank you, David. This has been an excellent story. So hopefully more people will discover the new Avino.
Thank you very much.